Months ago, I started the awful challenge that is reading the Call of Duty mobile comics, and that video did not do too good, so I kind of just ditched doing the series. But now, as I am done with the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure videos, I kind of want to just take a moment, take a video to not be serious whatsoever. Partially. So today I'm covering the Call of Duty mobile comics video. Along with talking about the Call of Duty mobile comics, let me tell you all about the updated board. Black means a definite or game timeline event. This essentially means what we know specifically and what happened in the games. Okay, so I realize how poorly I explained this point, so let me go over it again. The red marker is mainly used for my personal opinions. Say that Black Ops 1 is hinted to take place around the 90s, but it's not actually stated. I would have to use an educated guess to say, hey, this takes place around the 90s because it's hinted at. The green marker would be in case that Black Ops 1 is said to directly happen around the 90s. And then we have other continuity, which is not the Call of Duty mobile comics continuity. This would basically be for things such as zombies, or maybe with the Hedora thing that's going to be set up later. Oh shit, I kind of spoiled that. If you want to see more of the Call of Duty mobile comics, I have a video on it that was posted 7 or 8 months ago, so let's get into this. This arc starts off as a heist. We're introduced to this group of people who are presumably committing a heist. Several of the world's most dangerous individuals are bidding for the location of enemy assets. It's revealed that the location that's being talked about is heavily defended, and is in fact one of the most defended places on the planet, and Makarov doesn't even have the assets to buy it. Makarov and his team are preparing to take the residence by force, and Makarov goes off script and claims that this man right here is an imposter. And currently, my favorite line in the series is stated by Makarov: "This was necessary, but you are not." And my favorite part is when Makarov states something about the KGB, so... Okay, there we go. So Dame returns and apparently owns this house. After being threatened and threatening him back, she gives him the house altogether and decides to help him, which... why didn't you do that from the start? But there are too many debts that need to be repaid. Don't know what that means, but alright. It appears that this entire arc is setting up corruption. There's talk about how the powerful benefits only themselves, and makes the people beg for scraps. But these people are just terrorists, with flawed ideology, as they're holding random people hostage. Price has seen enough and declares to take action against the one talking about the common man, Andre Nikto. This character who looks like the coolest thing out of the early 2000s. Apparently he worked with Ghost after he killed the Templar. After he killed Templar? After he did what was necessary? I'm sorry. You killed a girl's dad in front of her and left both of them to die. I get the Templar, but what about the girl? Ghost is brain dead. Should that dash be in there? It seems that some just don't want to work with Ghost. This is possibly because of what he did to Templar and Templar's daughter, Sophia. I actually like what's being set up here. We see Ghost and Price acting normally, but on the sidelines, this character called Charlie states that she doesn't trust him, implying that this has been going on for a while. But it's all said in a way that states that Ghost regrets what he's done. He had to do what was needed, not what he wanted. The group enters with almost no issue. However, Nikto nor the hostages are there, and it seems that Ghost is the only man of interest among the opposite side. But it seems that Ghost has died in an explosive set off in the building. Guess we won't get any good right. Never mind, he's alright. They rush this character, Cypher, to a hospital, but Ghost states that something's happening, much like with himself. It seems that everything's devolving into one thing, and that everyone's corrupted. Ghost, powerful people, and nearly everyone else. And it seems that there's a new team. The Dark Covenant, I mean the People's Covenant, who fight for the people. Hopefully this shows two sides of corruption between the People's Covenant and everyone working with Ghost, or the government. One of the two. Maybe the government as they're in a hospital to take Cypher into custody. So Ghost declares that he's going with the UAC. Agent Miller is annoying and I've only known him for 5 seconds. He denies giving Price a ride, but Roach and Farah actually take him. So a group of people have decided to attack the group for some reason, and another group attacks that group. Price is now attacking this guy, who's on the enemy side. I'm too confused here. And this character named Foxtrot stopped the ambush, and Cypher is her brother. Look, I like what they're setting up here, but this is a little confusing here. You had oh wait, was that Foxtrot killing him? So for these two, life wasn't easy. Their father was a military man, and he put them through hell. And her brother went missing, so she looked for him. And everywhere she looked, a word kept coming up: Ortelius. And Ortelius was experimenting on random soldiers, so she killed this man and got out with her friend, presumably dying, attempting to get away, but the People's Covenant is working for Ortelius. But Nikto is back and was told to kill them this time. They shoot down one helicopter and get to the ground. And let's talk about how strong Price is, holding a rocket launcher with one hand and shooting it while hanging onto the side of an aircraft. That deserves a clap right there. But they get shot out of the sky after they jump out of the plane, with Cypher in hand. Now Makarov and Ortelius' negotiator sits down to talk business. Oh, Sophia's alive. There we go. Some would say that this is a weird way to deal with this, building up the tension on the other side of the wall. For some reason, when you focus less on several continuities and focus on making a cohesive story with one, you can make really good concepts. Who knew? But Makarov and the man are talking and Nikto comes up. Here it's said that Nikto is an attack dog. He is a follower. But Makarov is no follower. He is a leader. Makarov tells this man that it took a hacker collective 6 months to uncover this negotiator's true identity, and he receives a call from his own wife. This is what Makarov should have gotten in the first arc. Show that Makarov is the controller in any given situation, that only he will come out on top, and all else matters not. Because nothing can take down Makarov. So this man here that Makarov was talking to was working for Atlas Corporation, who still exists. I just hope Frank Woods doesn't show up for no given reason. Atlas is back and also is apparently making an entire city with over 1 million people in it. Only the ultra elite live here. This shows that the People's Covenant weren't entirely wrong. These people benefit themselves rather than others. This place is also known as the most exclusive place on Earth. So, in this nation, a character is mentioning something about the Reaper program. Perhaps this means that it takes place around Black Ops 3. This woman, though, dislikes Division A in Atlas because they're like a cult, but she needs to be on the inside to truly understand how they are and what they are. However, that will have to wait as Alex Mason! Yes! Is in the series. I actually should have thought of Alex and not Frank. This joke would be way better. Originally, I thought this was going to take place around Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 isn't on this board. What is going on? But wait, that's not true. We know this because Alex Mason is here. Alex Mason was in Black Ops 2. But also, that doesn't make sense either. Whether this is before, during, or after the events of Black Ops 2 is beyond me. Until we get more confirmation on the timeline, I have to put the new timeline directly on Black Ops 2. But wait, that also doesn't make sense, as Atlas is developing the Reaper program, which means this could also take place around Black Ops 3. However, we all know about changed events. We're lucky because we have the green marker. This now means that Advanced Warfare takes place around Black Ops 2. It also means that the Reaper program from Black Ops 3 is now in Black Ops 2. Hold up. Black Ops 3. There we go. And we know that's not happening around Advanced Warfare because Advanced Warfare takes place around 40 years after the COD Mobile comics apparently ended. Well, this is just a general idea. We don't really know what year specifically. As well as no deaths have been cited to confirm anything other than Black Ops 2. But as we haven't seen Soap yet, we're just going to say Soap has died. And Soap died in MW... I forgot why I put MW3 down there. So, right now, I'm kind of reaching. I don't know, I'm tired. I haven't slept in a while, okay? Please just give me this. So we don't know exactly when this takes place. So Black Ops 2 is our best idea right now. Also, Cypher is alive and basically killed an entire camp. And elsewhere, again, this Japanese man attacks this random woman, hologram. But apparently this is Hidora from the last arc. He was in a simulation that was basically his hell, at least from his perspective. Flowers with no fragrance, tea he cannot taste, water in which he cannot drown. This shows us the power Atlas has, because Hedora is one of the former 5 knights, building him back from the ground up. They insist that Hedora is not their slave, but Hedora believes otherwise. But does it matter? She wants him to kill Makarov. Now Foxtrot is a terrorist sympathizer, with these people here using her research for Cypher's whereabouts as evidence of that. And while everyone thinks this is stupid, the UAC thinks otherwise. Mason and gang believes that she isn't a terrorist and go directly against this notion. And according to Mason, the UAC fears what both Cypher and Foxtrot now know. Switch to Makarov, who is a boss, because he's officially made Atlas scared and is plotting their downfall. They have agreed to meet with Makarov, which was a mistake, which was their first mistake. To paraphrase what Makarov said, people act out of fear. They make mistakes, and their first was meeting Makarov. They should have done this for the first iteration of the comics. There, Makarov was just kinda there, and was Ghost's best friend, I think. Here he is set up as the main antagonist, taking on a big corporation without any other group knowing. He's set up as the biggest bad of the series. Soon, Hedora attempted to kill Makarov, but it wasn't Makarov. It was a trap set for Atlas. The stage was set for you, but you still ended up following the shepherd. I love Mandela Catalog. The real Makarov actually broke into a facility, and after freeing this man's family, he kills him. That one's on you. So this is a dark shepherd. That is so stupid. Thankfully, he dies. Cypher betrays them all and frees his sister, while Makarov makes his getaway. They get through a guard and make their way to what they were looking for since the beginning, the brain of Atlas. Dark Shepherd is sadly alive and he attacks both Cypher and Foxtrot. The bomb that was set off in Lisbon was actually set by Atlas to kill everyone there. So Cypher gives his villain speech, telling all how Atlas is a lie. For the last 3 years, he lived as a member of the UAC. Is that a Doom reference? And collected intelligence for them on behalf of Atlas. And he reveals that Atlas, the People's Covenant, and Ortelius are the same beast. Atlas had been creating these events the People's Covenant have been perpetrating and cleaning up the mess for profit. The People's Covenant was the very corruption they sought out to destroy. Or how I actually perceive this, Atlas was really just calling themselves out and making all these people who believed this to look like villains and hypocrites. It's like that conspiracy with vegans. You know, you have these very few vegans who make the rest of them insane, but they're actually all just government plants. You know, there's a joke there, but I don't know where it is. And all this was done to ensure the downfall of the Board of Atlas. And it was done because of their greed. The very corruption the People's Covenant wanted to stop. Very interesting concept, I've really got to say. I love how nicely this all unraveled. We start with the People's Covenant, then Ortelius, then to the reveal that Atlas is controlling them, as it was hinted that they were the big bad this entire time. With Division A being like a cult, and them being one of the direct downfalls of Atlas's iron will. Also Makarov. And now the UAC is going in to take both Foxtrot and Cypher back. This is a literal JoJo's villain. This was all set up by Makarov. He is the villain the Call of Duty mobile comics needed. He made Atlas respond out of fear, not allowing them to realize that that was their first mistake. They made the first mistake, not realizing that they were being set up from the beginning. Makarov enters the city first. I don't know, m to the power of 1. I don't know math. I actually don't know math. Why am I putting this here? And Cypher enters the city second, as well as giving both Foxtrot and the UAC a reason to enter that city, and then giving the UAC a reason to grab both Foxtrot and Cypher. This is not making sense right here, I just now realized. So the UAC goes to capture both Cypher and Foxtrot. However, Makarov already has a hold on Atlas, and has attacked Atlas. Let's put some fire right there. That's a nice fire. I'm an artist. Making Atlas then attack the UAC. And with the UAC not understanding anything, they then attack Atlas back. So Makarov set this all up from the beginning. I'm just gonna put Mac because I don't want to put his entire name. Actually, you know what, screw it. Makarov set all this up from the beginning. He knew Cypher and Foxtrot were going to enter the city, and that they were going to do this, which then gave the UAC a reason to capture them, and as well a reason to attack Atlas. Meaning, when Makarov was destroying the city, Atlas thought it was the UAC. So they attacked the UAC, making the UAC attack Atlas, while going to save Cypher and Foxtrot. Cypher is watching the mayhem and is loving it, watching both Atlas and the UAC hang themselves. They set off a flare as Makarov gets his arm chopped off. Jesus Christ. This has been a privilege to see the great and terrible Vladimir Makarov fall, sweating out his last, mouth filling with bile. And this person should have heeded the words of Sophia. That helmet won't stop a bullet. The Reapers are now about to kill Cypher and Foxtrot, right after they got some more development. Come on! Foxtrot wonders when she will be betrayed by Cypher. Classic brother and sister shenanigans. But something happens. The mothership is shot down by an unknown force. It's described in many words. When Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with his army, it began the Roman Civil War that ended the Republic and ushered in a new age of the dictator. Since then, the phrase crossing the Rubicon has come to mean a point of no return. The line which, when crossed, marks the point where everything changes. Whether they were tricked or forced, or did so with complete faith in their convictions, the UAC and Atlas Corporation rushed past the point of no return. And in the process, the rest of the world along with them, into a new era of uncertainty. But all who witnessed the event that day were certain of one thing. The world would never be the same. So Dame is back and is apparently the mother of Sophia. The fall of Atlas has resulted in vulnerable countries struggling to cope with the rising tide of terrorist violence. I like what we get to see that Atlas was a complete powerhouse in their own right. They took out terrorists, but as Cypher noted earlier, Atlas sent the People's Covenant out to attack so they could clean up the mess. So possibly after the fall of Atlas, this encouraged some to attack these countries, because they relied off Atlas's protection, who weren't even taking out actual terrorists, just pawns they sent out. So knowing that both Atlas was kind of a fraud, and this country relied off Atlas because they're weak military, they decided to take it into their own hands and, as the kids say, do a bit of funny business. Dame finds Sophia, and Sophia tells Dame that no one cared for her, only for what benefited themselves, passing her around like she was a pawn, and she's done with all of them. She plans on entering the army of Stitch to find her father, and if it's him, and if he doesn't give her the answer she likes, she will kill him. It appears that Sophia is trying to escape this life she has, trying to regain some sense of normalcy and closure by trying to find her father or kill Ghost. The Dark Shepherd is here, and the director and him chat with these four people. Now I'm basically gonna have to give you all a small outline of this, so let's go with it. These are possibly the new 5 knights, and the director is the 5th knight, and we see a bit of the director's past. He has dreams of seeing his son, but presumably with his son dying, he has to live with the result of that, waking up from these terrifying nightmares where he sees his son, so close yet so far out of reach. So later we see what Sophia was remembering. Ghost told her that he essentially is the gun, and Ghost found her first, and he gave her a choice: fight or stand down. He essentially told her that he is the gun, and basically told her to find the one firing the weapon. And so Sophia takes off to find the Templar, and eventually she does, and confronts him. And after this man says that it's a trap, and Sophia's friend and ally turns the gun on her. He brings out all of these soldiers who are going to try and kill her, but someone takes all of them out. And he tells Sophia that it's not her they want, it's him. This man is the Templar. So I'm back, and is that Guts? So the Templar's back. Part of me really wants Sophia to be the protagonist. Last arc, Ghost was the main protagonist, because of how he fit within the series. Both him and the Templar were mysterious, masked men who went against the 5 knights, and had several personal motives that made them interesting. Here, Sophia is on a mission to find Ghost and kill him, due to what happened to her father. Using this side of Sophia's character can make for interesting concepts, like whether or not she should kill Ghost, and considering this comic has a lot to do with corruption, who made Ghost do what he did? Or what if Ghost was the main antagonist? Though I think that second one would be kind of bad. I think it could make for a good character arc if he was the first antagonist that Sophia had to stop. Back to the comic, and what exactly did I miss? These scenes have actually gotten way better over the recent issues. You used to have awkward posing back in the first arc, but they've improved with it here as well. One thing that I hate is the Dark Shepherd is back again, come on! But now we get lore on who the Five Knights were originally, and Sophia and the Templar argue about the life Sophia was given. The Five Knights began as the Five Knights Templar, who were holy warriors. However, they were using their name to take riches and purchase their way into the halls of power. They used their power to crush the order that had given way to them, erasing their names from history and keeping their influence. The Templar and Sophia are part of the Tauntaun, or Tontine, or I don't know how to pronounce that. And as Sophia points out, the Tontine is an arrangement where the final member standing gets a prize, and the prize here is the world. They're now concerned with who's cornering them, and this person has Sophia in her grasp, preventing Templar from taking a shot, and this battle scene goes by very quickly. I wish there was more of a fight here, but then again, these comics have around 20 to 30 panels per issue, so it's kind of hard to tell a long story like this. But now I'll actually take what's given to me without complaints. But even with that, the writing more than makes up for it, giving Sophia more than one side to her character, giving her issues that she needs to work out through a motive that I believe all can understand and care about. And with the Tauntaun searching for them, they go to one place they won't be found, where the greatest treasure lies. This makes for several questions, like what is the treasure, or why do they want the treasure? I feel that these are the greatest chapters in the series. The writers have finally found their place and way of writing this comic series, giving their exposition to the Templar and who he is, and who he is to Sophia, and what she's feeling towards Ghost and those who took her in, like Makarov, giving us some of the best characters in my opinion, taking what Call of Duty usually is and putting their own spin and story on it, by making new characters, and not only relying on the more famous characters like Ghost and Price. Sure, it's stupid at times, but should that take away from these honestly creative and extremely cool moments in the series? I think not. So for the next issue, Frank Woods exists, kill me, the Templar tracks down another one of his family, one who has cut down everyone from her life, and has waged war against the Tauntaun herself. Her enemies call her Death Angel. And that's the end of the comics as of now, and my current thoughts on these comics are that they are amazing. The character structure and building is just immaculate, and downright cool. I have never seen better writing for a continuity ever of a comic series in my life. I love what's being built up with the Templar and his daughter, and this Tauntaun. I really love what's been set up with Ghost. He is the weapon, almost like everyone else is firing the weapon. I personally believe that it's the UAC, or possibly Makarov, and possibly even General Shepard. Now, one of my theories is that Templar possibly told Ghost to kill him, just so Sophia could have a normal life, but Makarov got his hands on her, and basically morphed her into what she is now. Templar wanted a normal life for his daughter, and possibly the only way he saw of getting her that normal life was his death. It might be a little far-fetched, but it's something I'd like to think about. It adds a twist as to why Ghost killed him, but it also gives credence as to why he never told Sophia. He wanted his death to be fake, so she would, again, have a normal life. But that's just a theory. A game theory. God, I'm too tired for this. I understand that I haven't covered every single issue of the Call of Duty mobile comics, as some of them are just Hedora doing side missions, essentially. And since the comics are most definitely going to continue, if I ever do a third video, I will cover those issues. My final thoughts on these comics are that you should definitely read them, or at the very least, watch me tell the story of them. I have a video covering the first 20 issues of the comics that got 77 views. I want more on that. And yeah, I thank you all for watching this video. So if you like this video, please subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video, as it's a Soul Eater video. I'm sadly bringing that one back. Have a good day. Because clearly, I did not.